can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. How do you do? 'Cause I'm feeling so good. Memories now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. Yeah. What's on the other side of inhibition? Ooh, how do you do? 'Cause I'm feeling so cool.
But now that I'm gone, you want me back. Yeah, I gave section, get hit in my section, and 12 gon' find your ass way in New Orleans. Watch I look, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poop, your bitch get tookin'. I'm not the type to go fuck with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, young and trapping out the bando, from the ceiling fan to the damn floor, trying to stack my money up, cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay, see the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me.
Trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it. Now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel it.
Hello and welcome back to the We Are City channel. Brighton aren't winning by 1-0, not quite yet. Anyway, to Manchester City versus Brighton, we are back. The last game I did in this channel was the FA Cup semi-final against Sheffield United, which feels like a long time ago now. It has been a long time. Really, I've been away for quite a while, but I am back and we are doing a live for every single game of the end of the season. 4 games remain. Brighton away today, Brentford away in the weekend, FA Cup final against Manchester United where City could win their 2nd title of the season. And then the weekend after, it is the big one, the Champions League final. Manchester City taken into Milan. And that will be perhaps the game where Manchester City complete the treble if they have picked up the FA Cup trophy the weekend before against Manchester United. Welcome back to everyone. It's good to have you here with us all. Like I said, been a long time since we've done one of those streams. Is it going to be an exciting game? I hope it will be. I think we are in for an exciting game today. Pep Guardiola has picked a pretty good side, a pretty strong side, hasn't he, in terms of how he's lined up. A bit of an odd side as well. So we'll go through that. So as for Manchester City, Scott Carson starts in goal. Kyle Walker, John Stones, Rodri in the back line, and Rico Lewis make up the back four. Bernardo Silva, Ilkay Gundogan, and Kevin De Bruyne in midfield three. It is Phil Foden, Riyad Mahrez, and Erling Haaland does start the front three. Pep Guardiola going very strong today, that starting 11. The best he probably can do with what he's got available on the bench today. Edison, Phillips, Alvarez, Sergio Gomez, Shea Charles and Nico O'Reilly, Cole Palmer, Alexander Robertson, and Ben Knight. So only three senior players in there. Maybe Palmer can be considered a senior player as well, but it is a heavily rotated bench of Manchester City. No Diaz, no Laporte, no Ake, no Akanji, no Grealish. Lots of players rested today by Pep Guardiola. In that sense, a strong start 11 out there. I assume this will be a start 11 that Pep Guardiola spoke amongst his medical staff, fitness staff with, and said, are these players ready to start today's game? The ones that weren't, they were left at home. So that is the Manchester City starting 11. Let's have a look at it. It'll look probably in possession with Rico Lewis, Bernardo Silva alongside each other in a holding role. Gundogan and De Bruyne supporting Erling Haaland. Phil Foden and Mahrez in the wide areas. Rodri, Stones and Kyle Walker, that back three. As for Brighton, no Alexis McAllister, who's been heavily linked with Liverpool and Manchester City in recent weeks. Jason Steele starts in goal for the Brighton side. Pascal Gross or Caicedo could be at right back. We're not entirely certain, but I've gone with Gross today. Van Heck, Colwill on loan from Chelsea, and Estupinian, one of the standout fullbacks of the season in that back four. Moise Caicedo, also Billy Gilmore and Buonanotte in the midfield three. And then a very, very dangerous front three for Brighton. Mitoma, Welbeck and Enciso. That is the three attacking trident that Roberto De Zerbi has decided to put out here against Manchester City. And no doubt it will be a tough test for City today. I'm excited for the game. I think despite the game being a bit of a dead rubber, it is a chance for Manchester City to sort of show their quality. I think as players, and also to show what they still have going into the recent sort of run of games, which are going to be very difficult, aren't they? I mean, that I think the Champions League final is going to be very, very, very difficult, of course. So will the FA Cup final. There's no doubt about that. There is no doubt about that. And City, I think, got to keep that sharp. It's been a tough test today against Brighton. I think Pep Guardiola, he's talked up Brighton big time. He's a big fan of Roberto De Zerbi. He very much respects the Brighton manager. So I think Pep Guardiola's picked a strong side today. I think we'll see a bit more of a weaker side, perhaps. A bit more of a rotated side against Brentford on the weekend. This is Pep Guardiola's way of just trying to keep people sharp. Flavius, a We Are City club member, is here. How are you, Flavius? Good to have you here. We are back with the live streams for the next 4 games, the final 4 games of the Premier League season. I'm very much looking forward to it. Brighton versus Manchester City. Previous head-to-heads, Brighton have only won one, May 2021, where they won 3-2 at the Amex. Every other game Brighton have faced Manchester City in has been a loss. Lewis Dunk on the bench as well today, captain for Brighton. Hello, says Isso Does Edits. Andrew Buckley's here, and he says 2-1 to City. 2-1 to Manchester City. That is prediction. Of course, let us know your predictions, guys, as well. We've got a little vote as well in the comments. In the live chat there, you can vote whether you think Manchester City, with Erling Haaland today, will Haaland get his 37th of the season? Will he not score his season in this game, or will he get more? He's 37th plus more. Doing good. Haven't caught up with a lot of content from you because I was on vacation and some work before that, so I'll have to have an extra long marathon, says Flavius. Well, that is not a worry at all, Flavius. I've been on a big vacation as well, so that's why I've not been doing the live streams. It feels like I've been away from ages, but I am back, and I am back for the rest of the season. I hope you had a really good time on your holiday, Flavius. Where are you up to as a We Are City member? Of course, we don't want to give any spoils away, but what episode are you up to on the City FC career mode? Of course, you are, as a member, ahead of us. You see a bit more than anyone else. Where are you up to in terms of that? Pep Guardiola is on Sky Sports right now, talking to Jeff Shreves about the squad pick today. And Pep Guardiola says he picks the players that are fit for today's game. That is why that is the side they've gone out with. He said there was many players that couldn't play, niggles and so on. I think our first Prem season, says Flavius. Wow, you're quite a way back, Flavius. We're actually, I think, on the members section, a way into this series now. So, you've probably into Season 3 then, aren't you? If you're just in the first Prem season. A long way to go in the series. There will be 5 series of that. I'll take the lineup off there. 5 series of the City FC career mode, which I've loved. And then a new series will come on the channel. If you guys know what's coming, I think you might do. We're going to be doing a big series on the channel coming up next. The UEFA Champions League final has been announced who will be doing the kickoff show between Manchester City and Istanbul. Burner Boy, I don't know who that is, and Anita, I do know who that is. Flavius, like towards the end of that though, so not the start of the season. Right, okay, well, you're nearly into Season 4 then, Flavius. Jack Wilson says hello everyone. Hello to you, Jack. Great to have you here. 67% of you guys believe that Haaland so far in the votes will get his 37th league goal of the season. 17% no, and 17% say yes plus more. We're going to get that 37th plus a few more. We are around 5 minutes away from kickoff at the Amex at the Farmers Stadium. Manchester City taking on Brighton. Brighton 1 point away from confirmed a 6th place finish. I think that shows how absolutely fantastic Brighton have been this season. Roberto De Zerbi has come in and done fantastic things. Pep Guardiola has talked up the Italian so much from the ability of this game. They know each other pretty well, and I think we're going to see some sort of, Roberto De Zerbi, Pep Guardiola love continued throughout the next few seasons in the Premier League. And don't be surprised if we see Roberto De Zerbi perhaps maybe one day manage Manchester City. I think Pep Guardiola, if he was asked, who do you think should take over from me? I think they'll be high up on that list, Roberto De Zerbi, as well as maybe Mikel Arteta, maybe Julian Nagelsmann as well. News about Mason Mount, because he has been linked with Manchester City, Mason Mount. Apparently City have sort of dulled down their interest in the Chelsea man. Now, it is looking like Mason Mount is going to leave Chelsea, and he's leaning towards moving to not Manchester City, but Manchester United. Arsenal very interested in the player. So are a few other teams in the Premier League. Newcastle. But it looks like Manchester United are the side to sign Mason Mount this next season. Interesting. Very interesting, isn't it? What are you guys saying in the comments here? A maths test tomorrow he needs to study. That's no worries, Jack. Enjoy the game if you get to see any of it. Flavius says, I don't think Arteta would want to manage City unless he's sacked by Arsenal. Very true, Flavius. I think he is an Arsenal fan, isn't he? Mikel Arteta. So I can see that being the case. Pep Guardiola, not a City fan either, I suppose. He's a Barcelona fan, but you're right. I don't see Arteta leaving Arsenal unless he's sacked and then Manchester City pick him up. I don't see Arsenal sacking Arteta unless things get really bad, which I don't think they will. So players in the tunnel now, not far away from kickoff now. City. It's going to be an exciting game, isn't it? City got a tough test. They linked with not only Alexis McAllister on the bench for Brighton today, but also linked with Mitoma. Also linked with Caicedo, and also linked with Levi Colwill. And the final one is Enciso, the 19-year-old, who City have also been linked with, apparently on their list. And they will be doing a guard of honour for Manchester City, will Brighton Hove Albion. I think they're very much happy to do that for these City players. Captain by Ilkay Gundogan, Stefan Ortega Moreno, deservedly starting games for Manchester City. I think he's too good to be a second goalkeeper, really. I think we've really got to rotate him with Ederson as much as possible, because he is really top quality. And out come the team. So Rico Lewis at left back today, pushing into that midfield. Erling Haaland starting up top here today. Kyle Walker, Riyad Mahrez in the Manchester City starting 11. Brilliant. And a guard of honour from Brighton. And the Brighton fans as well that actually do applaud the Manchester City players as they come out into the field, which I think is very fair from the Brighton fans. Ridai says, hi everyone. Not going to be here able for the game because of South Africa's electrical problems. That's a big shame, Ridai. We'll miss you. But he says 4-0 to Manchester City. Well, as you guys know, Ridai has got a wonderful record of getting those things right. Ridai says 4-0. Everyone sit back and relax. The chances are it's going to be 4-0 to Manchester City, because Ridai is rarely ever wrong. Sean is here. Hello to you, Sean. Man City do play in the away kit today. The black and red stripes in front of these fans and in front of Pep Guardiola, Roberto De Zerbi. A beautiful kit that City haven't worn enough this season, I don't think. And in the Champions League final, I think City will be wearing the home shirt, won't they? Whereas Inter Milan will be wearing the away shirt. Sean's playing FIFA. Well, I hope you managed to see some of the game, or at least listen to the commentary here about how the game is going. Jason Steele starts in goal for Brighton. Estupinian, Colwill, Van Heck, and Caicedo, the predicted back four. Caicedo in the right back spot. Not Pascal Gross, who's played there quite a lot this season. Done a good job there, Caicedo. Very versatile player. I think a player that Pep Guardiola would love at City if that was a possibility. Pascal Gross and Billy Gilmour in the midfield too for Brighton, as Alex McAllister sits on the bench today. Facundo Buonanotte, Julio Enciso, and Kairo Mitoma, the three supporting ex-Manchester United and Arsenal striker Danny Welbeck up top in this Brighton side. Captain Lewis Dunk and defensive partner Webster on the bench, as long as Undav as well, and also Evan Ferguson, who scored 2 in his previous appearance for Brighton. As for Manchester City, Stefan Ortega Moreno starts in goal for Germany's second consecutive start in the Premier League. John Stones, Kyle Walker, Rico Lewis and Bernardo Silva apparently, according to Sky, is the back four. Bernardo Silva playing as a left back. Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri and Ilkay Gundogan in the midfield three. And then the front three for Manchester City. Riyad Mahrez on the right, Phil Foden on the left, and Erling Haaland through the middle. MK is here. Hello to you, MK. Manchester City today have Edison, Phillips, Alvarez and Gomez, the senior players on the bench. And they are joined by Shea Charles, Nico O'Reilly, Cole Palmer, Alexander Robertson and Ben Knight on the Manchester City bench. Kaoru Mitoma looking on, thumbs up from the Japanese international to his teammates. Looking to take on Manchester City. In terms of goals since the New Year's Eve, he ranks 6th, the first in his team. The top goal scorer for Brighton and Hove Albion since New Year. Top quality player. Erling Haaland, ready to lead the line once again for Manchester City today. 52 goals this season in all competitions. Only second to Dixie Dean in the 30s, who scored 63, which is a ridiculous record, which Erling Haaland might just go on to beat next season. Pep Guardiola shaking hands with Rodolfo Barreiro and Enzo Mansquera on the bench. City's 2 assistant coaches. City fans in the sun, chanting away, 8 o'clock, but still the sun is shining and bearing down on the pitch here at Brighton. And we are underway. City versus Brighton, we have kick-off. Good luck, your master, tomorrow, says Jack. To Jack, says MK. Well, Phil Foden put a fantastic performance in here against Brighton a few years ago, where City then went on to lose the game. Of course, we've also missing Jack Grealish today. Ortega playing high, and we know Brighton are going to press City constantly. High press. Van Heck steps into midfield and makes a tackle. Now Silva wins it, but very high press from Brighton here. It looks like Van Heck actually is in the midfield. And Brighton are playing Enciso up top. Pascal Gross at the back, and Van Heck is playing very far forward in the midfield, which is a big interest to me. I expect him to play at centre-back today for Brighton. A change of formation by Roberto De Zerbi as he looks to outdo Pep Guardiola tactically. 1 minute gone in this Premier League fixture. Stefan Ortega Moreno. Into Gundogan. Onto Stones, will just keep it in. Stones clips it in behind defence to Riyad Mahrez and dealt with by Stupinian. De Bruyne can't beat Caicedo to it. And Van Heck goes back to the goalkeeper. So it looks like Pascal Gross is going to play at right back, but then step into a central position when in the ball, and Van Heck goes into midfield. It's very interesting from Roberto De Zerbi. It is something different. Walker beats Mitoma to it. Chased by Mitoma is Kyle Walker. And a free kick goes Brighton's way. Walker tried to step across Kyle Mitoma. Mitoma gets a foot in just. The studs of Walker catch the leg of Mitoma, causing him to lose balance, fall on the floor. Free kick Brighton. Pascal Gross over this one. Bernardo Season is here. Welcome back, Bernardo Season. Chris is here as well. Evening all. I think Grealish will be watching us from his local pub where he's been there for the last 72 hours. Well, I hope he can sober up before the FA Cup final, because we'll need him desperately. I think, considering the season he's had, he's been a pivotal player in Manchester City's success so far this season. And success that is still got 2 important games to go. Brighton set piece. Pascal Gross to take it. Takes his time. Right foot swing in. Headed away by... I'm not sure who that was. I think perhaps Rodri. Bernardo Silva picks it up on this right-hand side. Walker. Long ball underneath it. Haaland chests it down to Kevin De Bruyne. Onto Rico Lewis. Good touch by Rico Lewis. Finds Phil Foden. So nimble, Rico Lewis. Really good balance for a footballer. Manages to pick the ball up in positions and then slowly work his way around. Nice play by Bernardo and Gundogan here. Little 1-2s in the middle of the park. Bernardo, De Bruyne. Van Hecke steps out to get to Kevin De Bruyne. Misses the ball. It's a free kick, Manchester City. It's very interesting, Van Hecke's positioning. Very interesting. You know, with John Stones, Manchester City have a centre-back, not today, but usually who steps into midfield when City are in possession. Van Hecke is actually stepping into midfield even when Brighton don't have possession, but when they do have possession, he goes into the centre-back position. It's very different, and it's very interesting. A way to try and press City by Roberto De Zerbi. Long ball by Steele, headed down by Rodri. De Bruyne beaten to it by Gilmour. Phil Foden back forward to Kevin De Bruyne. Van Hecke away. Rico Lewis gets his foot in on a Brighton man. Pulled down, and Buonanotte here fighting with Rico Lewis the ball. Thrown to Manchester City on this far left-hand side. Free kick for Buonanotte. Pulling Rico Lewis down, and the referee says no, it's not a free kick, it's a throw-in. So give him back to Rico Lewis, and he'll take it again, this time with the hands. Thrown into Rodri. Cross to John Stones and back to Stefan Ortega Moreno. Into Stones again. Thumbs up from Ilkay Gundogan. Stones brings the ball out from the back and forward for Manchester City. Kyle Walker making a forward run the right-hand channel. Mahrez has received the ball via deflection. Here is Mahrez. Gundogan. Gundogan steps forward. Back into John Stones. Rico Lewis in the centre of the park here. Rico. De Bruyne. Walker makes a run wide here. Can he put a decent cross in here, Kyle Walker? He attempts to, Kyle Walker. Swings it all the way to the far post to Phil Foden. Takes a nice touch here. Inside the box, Foden. Bernardo Silva crossing here. Erling Haaland's in there. Deflects to Phil Foden's path. Brighton just get it away. Buonanotte. Skips past Riyad Mahrez. Long ball forward. Kyle Walker, good interception. Caicedo dives in. City keep possession. That's very good from City. Haaland looked for a spectacular volley. Just couldn't quite pull it off. Ilkay Gundogan. Wide left to Bernardo Silva, who's found himself on this far side now. Bernardo. Gundogan. Lewis. Gundogan. Under pressure from Enciso. Goes wide to Bernardo Silva. Foden. Good play by Phil. Still going here. Turns past a few challenges. Foden. Foden across the box here. Erling Haaland! Missed the sitter. On a plate for Erling Haaland, and Phil Foden finds him, and Haaland puts it over the bar. Absolutely spectacular play from Phil Foden. Beats 4 or 5 Brighton players. Lifts it to the far post for a free header for Haaland, who heads it somehow over the bar. That's a big miss from Haaland. Very wasteful. And it should be Manchester City 1, Brighton 0. Brilliant from Foden. Haaland in the air laughing. Smiles to himself. Well, surely he can't miss another chance like that, because that is an absolute sitter miss by the Norwegian. Haaland should have scored as Chris. Foden started brilliantly. Very lively from Phil Foden. Predominantly dribbling on that left foot. Spinning things round and spinning the Brighton players round, but then couldn't be rewarded for his hard work by Erling Haaland of all people. Bernardo says, I think playing Rodri centre-back was a strange choice. Hope I'm proving wrong. I think it's because Ake, Diaz, Laporte, Akanji aren't fit today, so City have no other centre-backs to play Bernardo, and Pep Guardiola's decided that Rodri is the one. Haaland here, outmuscled by Levi Colwill. Deflects the pass of Mahrez on his far side. Estupiñán pressing. Away from Mitoma is Mahrez. Stones. Walker. Bernardo Silva. De Bruyne. Bad pass by De Bruyne back to Rodri. Pushes Brighton on for the press, but that's not too much of a bad thing for City, bringing Brighton on for the press, because they can try and play their way through them. Ortega passes it across his own goal line here to John Stones. There's a Brighton player waiting. Gundogan. Little one touch by Haaland into Gundogan. Rico Lewis. Wide left to Phil Foden, whose eyes light up again with space. Phil Foden. Foden into Haaland. Good touch by Haaland. Is it? No, it's a poor touch. He's still battling for it. Van Hecke with a lovely little touch of the ball here to spin away in his own box. But City, I mean, Haaland takes a good touch there. He scores. I have to say, twice he's been a little bit wasteful today, Haaland. Gundogan, Rodri. Haaland isn't good enough for the Prem. Be looking to score 15 goals this season. You can't miss it those chances, says Bernardo. As that one Chelsea fan said, Haaland will be lucky to score 15 goals. Well, he was wrong, wasn't he? Very wrong. Bernardo Silva looks for the long ball. Handball by Brighton. Bernardo Silva complains, and the referee listens to the protest from Bernardo Silva. Van Heck can't believe it. He didn't think it was a foul or a handball. He thought it was... Ooh, I think it's a harsh handball to give that one. Gundogan. Stones. Rico Lewis. Into Gundogan. Great play by Rico again. And Gundogan, not aware of his surroundings. Pocket pinched by Mitoma. Here's Buonanotte. Mitoma. Back into Buonanotte. Slides it through to Welbeck. Danny Welbeck! And a block by Phil Foden. Great chance of Brighton, who could have opened the scoring there. Good play. Poor from captain Ilkay Gundogan. Unaware of his surroundings. Mitoma nicks it. Foden slips. Still comes back and makes a good challenge. And Ortega. I mean, Ortega was there to make the save. And now Brighton have a corner. Cross to come in. Foden slipped but recovered well, says Chris. He did. Slipped before that, but still got up, made the block. Pascal Gross. Nice swing in here. Headed away by John Stones. Caicedo with a heavy clip out to Estupinian, who still gets there, the fullback. Switch of play is absolutely fantastic to Gross, who tries the first time one across the box here. Rico Lewis blocks off Gross, and Rodri there to keep it in for Manchester City. Phil Foden, who definitely looks sharp coming back here. Good play from Rico Lewis at the back of the end. Foden, Lewis. Foden. Little flick round the corner to Gundogan, who's lost it again. Gundogan near his own box. Danny Welbeck, good footwork. Chance for Brighton. Billy Gilmore can't catch it, but Ilkay Gundogan giving the ball away in his own box again. Really poor, and now City have a counter of their own. Riyad Mahrez away from Estupinian on this far right-hand side. Mahrez. Across to Kyle Walker, who can't get there. Estupinian, good defending, and away. I have to say, Ilkay Gundogan has been very, very lazy in the ball twice. Not been aware of what's around him. And Brighton have got in there and nicked it off him. This time in front of his own box. Luckily, Billy Gilmore didn't catch the ball. It just bobbled as he went to hit it. And Ortega made an easy save. Foden. Rodri. So far, a very entertaining game of football in the first 10 minutes. Stones. Walker. Back Walker goes. City is 86 successful passes compared to Brighton's 16 so far. I think that tells you the tale of how this game has been in terms of possession-wise. Ortega. Out to De Bruyne on the chest by KDB. Mitoma pressing. De Bruyne back to Walker. City go back to John Stones. Stones. Gundogan. Trying to pick a pass. Gundogan. Late on him is Moises Caicedo. Free kick Manchester City. Average possession the most in the major leagues this season. Manchester City top with 65%. Followed by Barcelona and Bayern Munich with around 64%. And in fourth place, Brighton. Shows how good they've been. Gundogan was trying to turn Gilmore on the edge of his own box. It didn't work. Ilkay's a bit shaky so far. He needs to be switched on and getting the game. Yeah, he's been unaware of his surroundings, Gundogan. And that certainly is one of his parts of his game, which we usually praise him so much for. He's usually aware of what's going on around him, but he hasn't been. Ortega nearly slips in front of his goal here. Out to Bernardo Silva. City living dangerously under the press of Brighton. It was Enciso nearly nicked it off Ortega. Stones. Lewis. Ortega again. Continues to bring it out, Stefan Ortega here. Long ball by the German up to Haaland here. Van Heck right through over the back of Haaland. And Brighton get it back. And Rodri's in there to win it back for Manchester City. Rico Lewis. Gundogan. Stones. Looking to go back to Ortega perhaps, and he will do. City using Ortega in the build-up. Ortega. I think it would be a fantastic goalkeeper for Brighton, in fact. Haaland holding off Van Heck, and he works it wide towards Bernardo Silva. Bernardo went to Phil Foden. I wouldn't be surprised if Brighton made an offer for Ortega. It'd be brilliant for them. Here's Bernardo. Rico Lewis. Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne into space of Bernardo Silva. Right in the edge of the line to go out for a corner. Kevin De Bruyne still. Left-footed cross in deflects. Ilkay Gundogan heads it on to Rodri. City start again here. Welbeck press him. City work out of it. Walker. Stones. Rodri. Bring the ball forward for Manchester City. Rodri into John Stones. Mahrez under pressure from Estupinian, who's very late there. City want a free kick. Simon Hooper says advantage played. Bernardo. Rodri. Gundogan. Rodri, and it does look like Bernardo Silva at the moment is playing left back. The fluidity of this Manchester City side and Brighton side. Something that's very clear. Bernardo into Gundogan. On the chest, under pressure from Caicedo. And City once again playing out the pressure brilliantly. Had to go back to Ortega. Gundogan. Back to Ortega. Heavy touch there, the German. On to Stones here. City taking risks here at the back. Gundogan with a really heavy pass back to Stefan Ortega. You had to slide in, take out Caicedo to win the ball to work it onto Stones. Did win the ball, Ortega, but Gundogan's pass was poor. Bernardo's wasn't much better as well. Made it very difficult for Stefan Ortega. But he did get the ball, Ortega. Kicked it into Caicedo out for a throw into City. If Ortega was to go to Brighton to join, who do you think would replace him? I reckon Bazunu would be a shout. Possibly, yeah. I don't see Bazunu coming to Manchester City. I don't think he's been very good at Southampton, Gavin Bazunu. I don't at all. And I think that James Trafford would be the call. The second choice. But I'm happy with Ortega. He's absolutely brilliant. And he's done well again there in that situation. Got a Brighton player down here in Buonanotte, who took a ball to the face from Kevin De Bruyne on a cross. And that's just seems to affect him later on. But he's back up after a bit of medical treatment here. It looks like he's going to be okay. The young Argentinian signed for Brighton. Only 17 years of age, 18 years of age, and getting game time, starting game time under Roberto De Zerbi. Maybe De Zerbi is just saying to McAllister, right, if you are going, then we've got players who can play in your position. We're not going to play you Stones. On to Rodri. To continue to live dangerously at the back. Stones. Brighton's press is very aggressive. Stones. Walker. Given away by Walker. One back off Mitoma. Stones. City play a long ball up to Haaland, who's got to help City out here. Colwell against Haaland, and Colwell's absolutely all over Erling Haaland. Still gets a touch on it. Van Heck lumps it away. Towards Welbeck, who takes a touch well, and Cisco picks it up. Rodri dives in, and Cisco dives. I didn't think Rodri even touched Cisco there. But it's a free kick to Brighton. And Rodri stepped out from his defensive position, jumped in on Cisco, and the referee gives a free kick. I don't think Rodri even touched him there. He run right into Rodri, made sure it looked like a foul. Clever play, or a dive you could say. If it was Harry Kane, it's clever. If it's a foreign player, it's a dive. That's the way it seems to work in the Premier League. So a really good position for a free kick here. Pascal Gross, a set-piece master. To swing one into the top corner, perhaps. Beat his fellow German goalkeeper. Levi Colwill, one of the big boys in the box for Brighton. Pascal Gross and Estupinian over this one. They take the time, Brighton. Waiting for the opportune moment. Pascal Gross. Low and hard and through the wall. And into the hands of Stefan Ortega. A routine save for the goalkeeper, which you would expect him to make. Pascal Gross tried to be clever, go sort of under the wall. Didn't get that. Ortega for Manchester City. Little drop kick out to Riyad Mahrez, who wins the knock on to Erling Haaland. Haaland. Lost it as Haaland, and the Brighton fans cheer to see the big Norwegian lose it. Here's Colwill. Back he goes to goalkeeper Steele, and they will do the same, Brighton. They will try and play it out from the back. Jason Steele is the man that decides the way they play. It's a lovely ball by Steele up to Mitoma. Like an outfield player, Mitoma tried to turn and speed his way past Kyle Walker. Ended up running out of play, ran out of room. Walker for a second there looked like he was going to get beat by Mitoma. Ortega. Bernardo Silva. Outside the boot past the John Stones. City under immense pressure here. And Stones forced long and Colwell picks it up. Mitoma knocks it onto Caicedo. Crossing to Enciso here. Rodri to the back of him. Rico Lewis, great defending. Falls to Welbeck. Gundogan with a little kick on Pascal Gross. Mitoma with a strike here. Blocked away. Well, the referee played advantage and then took it away. Billy Gilmore fouled by Ilkay Gundogan right in the edge of the Manchester City box. Throws a foot in. Chris is Mitoma versus Walker. A great battle tonight. Well, so far Mitoma hasn't got the better of him. But he just nearly did there, didn't he? But he ran it out of play. Freak in a really good position. This is very much direct territory here for Pascal Gross. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Brighton take the lead from a free kick here. Perfect position for Gross to put this one in. Danny Welbeck seems to be the man who's putting it down. He maybe wants it. Welbeck puts it down. I wouldn't say Welbeck is someone that can put him in from here. I've not seen him do it before, but you never know. Estupinian and Cease go over it as well. Taking the time are Brighton. Danny Welbeck, Estupinian over this one. Danny Welbeck looks like he's going to be the one that hits the action on the right foot. Welbeck! Ooh, off the crossbar by Welbeck. Cannon's back out. Still danger for City here. Caicedo, brilliant from Brighton so far. But impressed, they don't have much of the ball, but they look a really good side. Van Heck here. Into Caicedo, onto Welbeck, back to Caicedo. Brilliant football from the Seagulls, and then given away to Rico Lewis, who can't get the ball back to a City player. Caicedo caught out by Bernardo Silva. Mars onto Kevin De Bruyne. City counter in numbers here. Kevin De Bruyne. Over to Erling Haaland. Haaland. Back to De Bruyne. Buenanotta steps in to win it back for Brighton. And City lose it. When Kevin De Bruyne wanted to pull the trigger. Lewis good defending again, but straight to Brighton. Welbeck. Caicedo. Foul by Bernardo Silva. Referee plays advantage. Brighton keep going. They're a good side, Brighton, aren't they? A very good side. And Cisco. Caicedo tackled by Gundogan. Wasn't a foul. Caicedo goes down. City play on. Foden into Haaland here. Erling Haaland 1-on-1. Haaland! Straight at Jason Steele. Really poor from Erling Haaland. Brighton looking better than Madrid in the UEFA Champions League, says Flavius. Quite right. But Haaland here with a massive miss. Foden sets Haaland up again. And Haaland misses another sitter. He's got to put that past Steele here, Haaland, but he doesn't do. Actually ends up running right at the goalkeeper. And putting it straight into him. Really wasteful from Erling Haaland for the second time today. Mitoma. Brighton attack coming the other way. Danny Welbeck. Mitoma. With a strike, Kyle Walker blocks it away. And Kevin De Bruyne beats Mitoma to it, who chases KDB. He works hard for his side, Mitoma. Haaland's in a long run and misses chances. A bit worrying the big games coming up. It's true, isn't it? He missed some chances against Leeds in that game. And I am worried with him missing. He's got to bury those two chances he's had today. Has to bury those two chances. I'm very surprised he's missed them. Why'd they go to Phil Foden, Manchester City on this left-hand side? Foden. Cuts inside into his right foot. Foden. Still going here. Foden. Mahrez. Couple of step overs. Mahrez the shot. Blocked by Estupinian. He's missing a lot of chances recently since Bernal season. He has. I mean, Haaland's missed 2 sitters today. He missed about 5 sitters against Leeds. And Mitoma plays in. Estupinian here. Kyle Walker there, and Estupinian dives in, and Kyle Walker, great pace shown by him. Mahrez fouled by Caicedo. Free kick Manchester City, but credit to Brighton. They've been brilliant here. But Manchester City have had 2 clear chances And 2 massive misses by Erling Haaland. Really bad misses. Really bad misses. He sets a standard for himself. Sets a standard for himself and he should do a lot better. Rodri, back he goes to Ortega. Stefan Ortega on the ball for City again. And taking his time. Seeing where to play the pass. Seeing what to do. Long ball forward to Haaland. Can't stick with him. Well, Mahrez picks it up. Gundogan. Kevin De Bruyne is in so much space then. I think City, because Brighton press so high and so aggressively, they find those gaps. Foden's found them twice. Haaland has robbed Phil Foden of 2 assists today. Rodri. Foden. De Bruyne makes a run in behind the defence. Phil Foden. Brilliant from Foden again, who is at the moment just running at this Brighton side, but it's a pass into Bernardo Silva who can't control it. Billy Gilmour. Away from Haaland. Good play from young Gilmour. Drives his Brighton team forward. Gilmour into Enciso and John Stones dives in. Sliding challenge behind for a throw into Brighton. But 2 very good sides here going at it against each other. And if Manchester City had a decent finisher up top, they would have been 2-0 up here. Who'd have thought that? 2 big chances missed by Erling Haaland. Jason Steele. Long by the goalkeeper up to Mitoma again. It's an absolute brilliant ball. Walker just shrugs Mitoma away. And Ortega runs out towards the corner flag to pick it up. And Ortega sends it long towards Mahrez. Beaten to it by Levi Corwell. Flicked on. Gundogan down to John Stones. City try and control possession again with Rodri now. Rodri. Gundogan. Into Haaland. Lays it off to Mahrez. Haaland's gone here. Mahrez got a look in behind to Haaland here. Who's in again? Erling Haaland here. Erling Haaland. Another one-on-one. Haaland. Haaland. Cross to Foden. Phil Foden! 1-0 Manchester City. Very unselfish from Erling Haaland. Didn't go for goal. Laid it off to Phil Foden. And Manchester City take the lead. Great ball by Mahrez. In behind. Haaland's one-on-one with Steele, who comes off his line quickly. And Haaland looks to pull the trigger. Decides against it. Lays it into Foden, who, with Van Heck on the line, still beats him. It's a great run by Haaland, by the way. Lays it off to Foden. Van Heck just can't keep it in on the line. Flicks off his boot. It's great. Haaland's movement here. Goes deep and then goes in behind. There's so much space. Van Heck can't catch him. You think maybe he's missed his chance again. But he sets up Phil Foden, who puts it in the back of the net. Van Heck maybe should have cleared that off the line. Manchester City 1, Brighton 0. Very unlucky Van Heck actually not to keep that one out. I think he's frustrated with himself, the young player. Sensible play from our out of form striker. Foden bang on it tonight. Staking a claim. I mean, Haaland should have had 2 goals and assists tonight. Foden's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant so far. Been incredible. Pressure from Rico Lewis here. Tackle by Lewis, throwing for Brighton. 8th assist for Erling Haaland this season. Link-up play's been good as well, hasn't it, really? And he did the right thing there, laying it off to Phil Foden to finish off the chance. Manchester City lead by 1-0 now. Throwing for Pascal Gross. And Cisco around the corner here. Rodri loses out to Welbeck, but look at the ball, didn't find Welbeck, and we go back to Ortega. Ortega switch a play to Rico Lewis. Touchdown by Lewis. Good play. Absolutely brilliant play by Lewis, and then back to Ortega. He is top quality Rico Lewis, without a doubt. And at 18 years of age, how good is he going to be in the future? Gundogan, Ortega, Bernardo Silva, back to Ortega. City use the goalkeeper well. Ortega into Mahrez, knocks onto Haaland, back into Mahrez here. Takes it round Caicedo, can he know? Estupinian, good strength here. Pascal Gross, back he goes to goalkeeper Jason Steele. Brighton nearly took out there. Nearly in trouble, nearly played themselves into danger. Caicedo nods it on, but only as far as Rico Lewis. I think once Haaland scores, be back at it against Bernardo. Yeah, I think he needs a goal, personally. Just a few bad games. Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty good so far. Buonanotte. Caicedo, round the corner to Gilmour. Lewis doing his best Ake impression. He looks natural in that position. He looks fantastic, Rico Lewis. Oh, he's lost this one, though. Just as we talked about Rico Lewis there, he misses a header. Falls to Buonanotte. Expected Lewis to get there. Missed the header. Nearly cost City problems. Gundogan, he's got to give this to Haaland, but he doesn't do. De Bruyne. Doesn't go for the run of Haaland. Kevin De Bruyne. Across to Mahrez. Bernardo Silva. Mahrez. City a bit slower in the build. It should have gone through to Haaland there. But De Bruyne decided against it. Bernardo Silva. Stones. Walker. Mitoma is really nullifying Kyle Walker when he's on the ball. Forcing him back every chance he gets. Rodri. Bernardo Silva into Haaland, who holds off Van Heck here. Into Bernardo. Onto Mahrez. A shocking pass by Bernardo Silva. No pace in the ball. Gives it straight away to Brighton. Poor by Bernardo. Jason Steele. Gilmour. Under pressure from De Bruyne. Caicedo. Back to Steele. Two sides who love to play through the goalkeeper. Use the man as an outfield player. Steele still. City making him go long here. And Steele over to Mitoma again. Kyle Walker. Great physical battle so far, Mitoma. Steele is absolutely brilliant at switching that ball out to Mitoma. So far, Kyle Walker's just got the better of him. Uses his physicality against Mitoma to just shrug him out the way, meaning he can't really get to that ball. Bernardo Silva for Manchester City. On to Rodri, who brings the ball forward from centre-back. Rico Lewis makes a run into space. Foden. Rico Lewis on the turn here. Brighton about to get cut open. Rico through to Haaland, unlucky. Had to go back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne arms wide, says, you should have gone to me and not Haaland. Mahrez wins it back for City. Gundogan. Lose out to Enciso, who's working hard up front for Brighton. Welbeck, Enciso, Welbeck. Caicedo, nice little one-touch stuff from Brighton. Gross, Welbeck. Mitoma made a run behind Walker there for a second. Walker was just asleep, but made up the ground with his pace. And stopped Welbeck playing the ball in behind. A Stupinian on this left-hand side. Caicedo. Back he goes to Levi Colwill. Ball forward by Colwyn to Welbeck is good. Welbeck can't make it stick. But Gundogan loses out in the challenge. And here's Enciso here. Enciso onto his right foot. Strike by him. Blocked by Stones. Nearly looped up over Ortega. Loops behind for a corner to Brighton. Lively play again by the young Enciso. Done fantastically well. Picked the ball up. Got his shot off. Couldn't get it into the back of the net. John Stones was there to step out. Corner Brighton, Pascal Gross to take this one again. A brilliant set-piece player. Go, Pascal Gross to take this one. Cross comes in. Header across the far post, Mitoma! And Brighton score. And Kairo Mitoma scores for Brighton. Kairo Mitoma puts it in the back of the net. Brighton score. Well, Simon Hooper is going to speak to the VAR because perhaps there was a handball in here. I'll have to see what they say. Cross comes in by Gross. It's headed on to Mitoma at the far post, who's in acres of space. No one with him. Ortega makes the initial save. Mitoma literally puts the ball in with his hands. Mitoma gets it over the line with his chest and arms either side of him. And I think that goal's going to be ruled out. Handball it is. Goal ruled out. Still 1-0 to Manchester City. I mean, Mitoma there, it's accidental, but... or it might not be, I don't know. He kept his arms there so that when he went in towards the net with his chest, he had his hands either side so the ball went anywhere but... not in the goal, you know, anywhere but not going in the goal. And that's what he did, Mitoma. So ruled out for a handball. But City, there's your warning sign. Steal forward to Enciso. Rodri goes in to win it, but gives it away. Brighton give it away with Gilmour. Poor pass to Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan gives it away to Brighton. Back in there to win it. Mahrez back to Stones. I say Gundogan's been very sloppy today. Rodri. Phil Foden his left-hand side. Back he goes. Rico Lewis not really giving Foden many options there, but to go back to Rodri. Gundogan, Rodri. Rico Lewis. Bernardo Silva. Rico. Back he goes to Rodri. City start again here. Rodri with Ortega. Bernardo said it was poor defending. It was poor defending for the goal. Mitoma just on his own at the far post. Don't know what he's doing. Ortega into Haaland. Good on the chest of Haaland. Works it wide to Rico Lewis. Kevin De Bruyne. Haaland. Rico. Foden. De Bruyne. Push by Buonanotte. De Bruyne just skips away from him in the end. And outside the boot pass out wide. It just be as Gundogan start to play rather poorly and sort of picks it up after a bit. He might be right, Flavius. One thing I want to say is Ilkay Gundogan, when he last signed a new contract, after he signed the contract, he was dire the season afterwards. Is he going to do it again? He was amazing before and then he got a new contract and played poor. Has he signed that new deal? Is that why he started playing poorly? I hope not. Gundogan. Such a play to Phil Foden. He's fantastic. Nice touch on the left foot by Phil Foden here. Up against Pascal Gross. Bernardo Silva. Foden. De Bruyne. Outside the boot pass to Phil Foden across the box here. It's a bit high. Mahrez will have to take it down, which he does with a fantastic touch. Mahrez. Estupinian marking him very tightly. Walker. And back City go to Stones. City have to start again here. Stones across to Rodri. In the middle to De Bruyne. Back to Rodri. City controlling possession, but Brighton do the same when they have it as well. Bernardo Silva. Foden. Bernardo. Gundo's often clutch that I'll give him the poor performance in the match. It doesn't really matter. That's true. Here's Rico Lewis. Haaland. Back to Lewis. Caicedo makes a challenge here. Lewis can't keep it. Lewis pulls Caicedo. Free kick to Brighton. Unlucky there, Rico Lewis. The pass back to him from Haaland, I just don't think was heavy enough for him to get there ahead of Caicedo. And they're showing again the Welbeck free kick that hit the bar in the 20th minute here on Sky Sports. Very good free kick by Welbeck. I didn't think he really had free kicks in his locker. Unlucky. Brighton fans thought it was in. Here is Levi Cole under pressure from Mahrez. Ball into Mitoma. Walker's got 2-on-1 to mark here. Mitoma. Estupinian. Walker with him to stop the cross. Mitoma the cross in here. Estupinian. Buonanotte. Off Lewis. Back off Buonanotte. Goal kick Manchester City. Very unlucky at the far post here. The Argentinian. Cross comes in from Estupinian. It's a wicked cross, by the way. Between goalkeeper and defenders. Lewis clears it onto Buonanotte. Just who then clears it. Knocks it back onto Rico Lewis. And then knocks it back onto Buonanotte and behind for a goal kick. A little bit lucky there. Stones, Ortega. Little shimmy of the body by Ortega. Confident from the German. Stones underneath it to Mahrez. Estupinian comes through the side of him. Buonanotte. Pass Bernardo Silva. And Rodri. Buonanotte! Save by Ortega. Ortega with a great save. Mitoma. Great play from Brighton. Mitoma onto his right foot here. Buonanotte again. Gundogan in on him. Mitoma. Caicedo. Phil Foden heads it away to Kevin De Bruyne. Counter opportunity Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne is pulled down here by Billy Gilmour. It's got to be a yellow card here for the Scotsman. No yellow card for Gilmour here. I don't know how not. Stops a clear counter here, Kevin De Bruyne. By fouling Gilmour. Or Gilmour fouling Kevin De Bruyne. Brighton keepers on showing us warnings. We need to switch on at half time. Brighton deserve a goal, I think, says Chris. Very true. I think Brighton have been brilliant. They do deserve a goal. Stefan Ortega doing well in goal. City struggling at the moment. Brighton so intricate in their passes around the box. It's very impressive. And Cisco, he stood in front of Kyle Walker, so he can't take the free kick. Still stood in front of Kyle Walker is Cisco. Brighton sort of pressing in a dime in the midfield and two up top when they do press. And Cisco and Welbeck alongside each other. Ortega. Brighton have had 10 shots to Manchester City's 5. I still think we've had the two best chances of the game, though. Both missed by Erling Haaland. I like Brighton. They seem to have a few good years ahead of them, says Flavius. So, yeah, how long, though, will that last? You know, how long before they lose De Zerbi and McAllister, Caicedo? They're gone this summer, aren't they? Let's be honest. They'll lose them this summer. Jason Steele. Who dictates the tempo here for Brighton. Whether they go long or short. How they play, how they build up. Steele dribbling it outside of his own box here. Plays it into Welbeck. And Cisco. Couple of step overs. White to Buonanotte. Rodri little pull on Danny Welbeck to stop him getting in behind him. Buonanotte, Gross. Brilliant football by Brighton, by the way. Absolutely fantastic football from Brighton. Van Heck. Gross, and back he goes to Jason Steele. Brighton starts again. Steele. Taking his time here. Pressured by Haaland. Steele's going to have to go long at this rate. Little flick into Corwell. Brilliant from Steele and Corwell. And brilliant from Brighton. Here is Levi Corwell for Brighton. Intelligent play by him. Into Cisco. Head up. And Cisco from range! What a strike! What an absolutely wonderful finish from Cisco. Classy football from Brighton. And Cisco opens the scoring for the Seagulls. What a finish that is. Played into him from Levi Cole after brilliant football by him and Jason Steele. And Cisco turns, open up his body, 30 yards out, and hammers it in the top corner. What a finish. That is a spectacular goal from Brighton. Nothing can stop that. It's an absolutely unbelievable finish from Cisco. Absolutely unbelievable finish by him. Corwell into him. City's midfield is non-existent. Gundogan's not there. And he just hammers it in the top corner. Ilkay Gundogan nowhere to be seen. Jogging back. What a finish that is. And you can see the City fans behind the ground, behind the net, applauding that goal. What a finish by Cisco. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. What a goal. Give me that McAllister. Liverpool can have Caicedo, says Flavius. In Cisco, get him instead. What a finish that is. That is absolutely insane. Just hammered that in the top corner. His fourth of the season for the Paraguayan. 19 years of age. Unstoppable for Ortega. And Brighton come again here. Welbeck. Estupinian. Tried to work it onto Mitoma. Manchester City are being outplayed here by Brighton, who by far the better side. Absolutely incredible team. Absolutely incredible team, Brighton. What a player he is in Cisco. What a player he is. Colwill and Cisco, lovely turn away from Stones. And past Bernardo Silva. Paraguayan's fouled. Yellow card for Bernardo Silva. What a bit of play from Cisco. This guy is absolutely running the show at the moment now. Good goal to give them. Deserved, by the way. Yeah, they deserve a goal, Brighton, without a doubt. Little flick away from John Stones. Then he beats Bernardo Silva to it, who kicks his legs from underneath him. Fouls him. But absolutely spectacular footballer so far, Julio Cisco. Been so impressive. I tell you what, City are looking for a wide man in the summer. I know he's playing centrally today, but get your money on Cisco. Manchester City. He looks like a good bet. Well, if you thought it's about City have bought players, they've shown their class against them. Grealish beat Walker in a 1-1. They bought him. Haaland bodied Diaz. They bought him maybe in Cisco's next. What a player. Stupinian with a cross in. Deflected, nearly deflects into the back of the net. Corner for Brighton, who are all over City here. And Cisco is absolutely insane. Insane. So far. Top quality footballer. Brighton have picked out another gem. 17 years of age. Well, VAR is checking this corner because they think it could be handball. No. Referee says no. VAR has checked it. No handball. Play on. Came off Mahrez' arm slightly. Corner ball for Brighton. To be taken from Pascal Gross again. Short. Bit of a set piece here from Brighton. Gross swings it in. Colwill! Oh, and City just get it away. Bernardo Silva lumps it away. Good chance there for Brighton again. Caicedo, I'm glad this isn't a title-deciding game. It seems very hard work. Pascal Gross. Gross back to Van Heck. City are struggling here against Brighton. Really struggling. Very impressive Brighton. What a team. Caicedo. Gilmour. Welbeck. Caicedo. Insane football. And Cisco picks it up. Onto Buonanotte. Skips past Bernardo Silva, the Argentinian. Then a little clip in towards Estupiñán, who heads it on. Should have gone to Welbeck. Mahrez back to Ortega. City lump it away in panic. Gilmour. Under pressure from De Bruyne. Good play by Billy Gilmour. Mitoma. Skips past Riyad Mahrez if he's not there. Lovely feet. Buonanotte. Gilmour. Mitoma. What a team. Chris Thee says they've got Ferguson, two fantastic young players. Yeah, I forgot about it. He's on the bench as well, isn't he? What a team. I was worried about Everton. Should have been worried about these. How did Everton beat Brighton 5-1? Because they're absolutely... I mean, I suppose Everton scored the chances. If Haaland scored his, City would be 3-1 up here, wouldn't they? We've missed our chances. But they're full of energy, full of quality, technical ability, belief in the system, belief in the way of playing. City can't even get hold of the ball. Van Heck. In midfield now, the centre-back. Out to Mitoma. And behind to Welbeck. Chance here for Brighton. Danny Welbeck! Has scored, but he's offside. Ortega beat it at his near post. What a finish by Welbeck. But he's offside. That's twice Brighton had the ball in the net. It's been ruled out. We'll see it again. Yeah, he's offside, Welbeck. Half a yard or so offside is Welbeck. Good finish as well past Ortega. Beat him way too easily. But absolutely fantastic from Brighton. Credit where credit is due. Brighton, top quality team, better than Manchester City today. No doubt about that. Been very impressed by them. Very impressed by them. Ortega to take this one. And Roberto De Zerbi has got to be the next Manchester City manager. On this show in here, the City owners must be watching this thinking, how is he getting this out of these players? Haaland nods it on here to Riyad Mahrez. Long ball by City. That might just work out. Mahrez. Passing past Estupiñán. De Bruyne crosses it in here. Phil Foden far post! And it's just over the bar by Phil Foden. City have had their chances as well. What a chance of Phil Foden. De Bruyne swings it in. Free header for Foden. And it just perhaps clips the bar on the way through. Should score. Very unlucky. Does touch the bar on the way over from Phil Foden. City should be about 4-4 in this game. The game has been that good. It should be about 4-4. But what a watch it has been. Bring Edison on to Sean Pickering. Well, don't think Ortega's really been an issue, to be honest with you. Jason Steele dribbles the ball forward from goalkeeper Gilmour. Back to Steele, who's literally playing like a midfielder. Estupiñán outside the boot, lumped towards Pascal Gross. Under pressure from Phil Foden. Gross under pressure here. Foden. Gross. Past Phil Foden and away. Brighton play out the issue here. Walker back forward. Gundogan. Rodri. Bernardo Silva knocks it on. Kevin De Bruyne. Can't beat Van Heck to it. Haaland can't beat Colwell either. Who goes back to Steele. Who lumps it away. Rico Lewis here just pushes. Buonanotte. And it's going to be a free kick to Brighton. Rico Lewis just left his back in there. Just left his body in, Rico Lewis. Landed right in his back there. Buonanotte. It's a nasty one from Lewis, really. We see Harry Kane do them often. Very often. Well, they're showing a replay of Cisco's goal, which was absolutely spectacular. And Cisco with an absolutely wonderful finish. Right to the top corner. Bang. No stopping that one. Absolutely top quality player he is, isn't he? What, 19 years of age? Another gem Brighton have found in South America. Jason Steele long. Rodri down to Foden. Can't get there. Pascal Gross away. Actually finds Mitoma. City haven't had a shot since the goal. Brighton 6 shots. Manchester City 1. Ball in behind to Enciso here. Who's away again. Against Stones and Walker. Beats them. Crossing to Welbeck. Oh, it's a free header for Welbeck. What a bit of play from Enciso. Finds Welbeck on his own in the box, who can't finish the chance off, but absolutely spectacular from Enciso. Gundogan wins it back for City. Fortunately, really. Rodri out to Foden. What a team Brighton are. Unbelievable stuff. Foden. Absolutely unbelievable stuff. Rico Lewis, De Bruyne. Rodri, De Bruyne. Lost it to Welbeck here. Rodri in there to win it back. Buonanotte pushing Rodri. Free kick for Manchester City here. Buonanotte too aggressive there in closing down. City's defender today in Rodri. There's been 3 added minutes. Here's Bernardo Silva, Rodri. Well, that is half-time. Manchester City 1, Brighton 1. I have to say, Brighton, by far the better side. City have had 3 good chances. Well, 2 sitters they've missed. But Brighton, I can't believe how good they are. Absolutely unbelievable. Be back for the second half of the short break. We'll see you guys shortly.
Got enough of every melody, they all sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy, but maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. memories might let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it, 'cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do it all 'cause I'm feeling so good. What's on the other side of inhibition? Ooh, I do it all 'cause I'm feeling so cool.
Tryna get my attention, tryna get your redemption. But now that I'm gone, you want me back. Yeah, give quick to hit ignore. Buku bitches in my bed. I got scales all on my floor. I got money on the line, plus I'm clocking it below. I got bitches kissing bitches, all them bitches go explore. I'm feeling way up. I stay up. Put your bitch on my Snapchat while I make her. She want a chance with me, cause she know I'm a rapper. I give a but I never get feelings, cause shorty, I know what you after. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. Get hit in my section at 12, gon' find your ass way in New Orleans. Watch I left I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my putting. Put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poop, your bitch get tookin'. I'm not the type to go fuck with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, youngin' trapping out the bando. From the ceiling fan to the damn floor. Tryna stack my money up, cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay. See the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me.
You got me trapped inside this spell. Now I feel like, now I feel like your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel that.
Too cold, standing in the middle of the downpour. Looking in the mirror 'cause it's only
So welcome back to the second half. Manchester City taking on Brighton. Brighton, who have been the better side in that first half. Erling Haaland missing 2 absolute sitters. Brighton missing chances as well. And Ciso has been absolutely incredible, and his finish was incredible. Phil Foden was probably City's best player in that first half, but City need more in the second half. De Zerbi's Brighton are fantastic, are absolutely fantastic. I've not seen many sides better against Manchester City. 11 shots by De Zerbi's side, the most any team has created against the Pep Guardiola side in a very long time. I'm pretty sure of that. Every single player in that field doing what their manager asks of them. Every single player working hard. And I've been so impressed by Brighton. And I think Roberto De Zerbi is putting a bit of a tactical schooling on Pep Guardiola a little bit, isn't it? At times. Ferguson is being prepared by the Brighton bench to come on in this second half, which I suspect he will do for Danny Welbeck. Welbeck, who's been a little bit wasteful in front of goal. Ferguson surely won't be. Ferguson, a little bit more clinical. And someone who has been very wasteful in front of goal, Erling Haaland, cannot be missing the chance he did miss. It should have been 3-0 before Brighton. Then, that massive momentum swing. But Erling Haaland should have done so much better on those chances. I think Pep Guardiola will be very frustrated with his big Norwegian in those mistakes. No changes for either side. Manchester City versus Brighton, second 45 minutes underway. Of course, this game means nothing in terms of Premier League for Manchester City. It would mean that Brighton are confirmed 6th place finish with a point here today. I think they'll get that anyway, whether they lose today, lose to Villa. I think because the goal difference wise, they're miles ahead of Aston Villa, 15 goals ahead. Here's Jason Steele. Brighton continues to do the same thing in the second half. Steele looks long. Kyle Walker heads it back forward. De Bruyne beat into it by Colwill. Need to run in behind him here. Bernardo Silva seems to have pushed a little bit further towards KDB in the second half. Ilkay Gundogan as well. And Stupinian, good play. Caicedo. Brighton keep it. Colwill back to Jason Steele. Forward by Steele. Dealt with by Rodri. Gundogan can't spin on it. Falls to Stones. Rodri. Bernardo Silva. Bernardo still under pressure from Billy Gilmore. Silva. Back he goes into Rico Lewis. Sounds like this match could go either way, says MK. Very true. Could go either way. Brighton the better side, but City have had the more clear-cut chances, I'd say. John Stones. Into Rodri. Rico Lewis. Good play by Lewis under pressure from Caicedo. Referee says no free kick. Bernardo Silva. Just taking too long, I think, to make the pass there, Bernardo. But he skips past Gilmore. Gundogan. Rico Lewis. Wide to Kevin De Bruyne. Who gives it away, De Bruyne. Gilmore into Ciso, and Ciso is tackled by Rodri, who stepped out quickly. And back to Rico Lewis. Who can get hold of this game? Who can take control? Foden in behind to De Bruyne here. It's defended well. Back to Gundogan. Unlucky with that pass, Phil Foden. Been so lively here today. Bernardo, Gundogan. Lewis. Bernardo Silva again. Into Phil Foden behind. Brighton think offside. Manchester City play on. Referee says onside. Bernardo Silva. Into Haaland here. Haaland with the overhead kick volley. And into the stands by Erling Haaland. He went for a spectacular strike there. All smiles from Haaland. Clipped into him by Bernardo Silva. Well, he caught it well, but not quite well enough. And sends it right up into the stands. He's still laughing, Haaland, but prefer him to just, score those 2 simple chances in the first half. One was a header, one was a one-on-one. He did really poor with the 2 chances. Here's Jason Steele. Continues to bring it out for Brighton. Steele forward. Rodri beats Welbeck in the air. Gundogan. Gundogan here. Could skip away from Welbeck, who chases Gundogan still. Through to Bernardo Silva. A little flick off the foot of a Brighton player. Bernardo. Foden. Crossed in here. Jason Steele loses it. But Haaland's not there. Mitoma turns Kyle Walker, who beats him physically really well. Mahrez. De Bruyne. Mahrez has to pass this. He doesn't do. Haaland. Gundogan. Gundogan across the box and just past the post by Ilkay Gundogan. Takes the deflection off the captain's shot. Corner Manchester City here. Haaland laying off to Gundogan, who slices it across the box. And it just comes off. The outside stretched leg of Colwill hits his calf through his legs. Deflects behind for a corner. Pep Guardiola here is calling someone over, I think, from the warming up. Substitutes bench. Was it Julian Alvarez? Thought. I'm not quite sure. Could be Cole Palmer who's coming on here for Manchester City. Pep Guardiola believes Cole Palmer is the man to come on. Only the 49th minute. Mahrez, Bernardo Silva. Mahrez. Foden. Foden. Rico Lewis into the hands of Jason Steele. Lewis just couldn't get the power in it. Scooped it into the path of the goalkeeper. Cole Palmer is the man Pep Guardiola sees to change this game. Van Heck. Caicedo. Back they go to Van Heck. Brilliant from Brighton. Caicedo. Van Heck. Van Heck still. There's Mitoma. Tackled by Bernardo Silva. Mitoma keeps it. Good footwork. Given away. It looks like Phil Foden is injured again. So Phil Foden substitute for Manchester City. On comes Cole Palmer. Phil Foden is signalled to the bench that he's picked up an injury and he can't continue. Well, what a game Phil Foden's had. And off he comes. Cole Palmer's on, so maybe that's the last we see of Phil Foden for the season. A season riddled by injuries. And a change for Brighton also. Very early on in the first 5 minutes of the second half. One of the breakthrough stars of the season, the youngster Evan Ferguson. He's set to come on for Brighton. And so is Alexis McAllister. Double change for De Zerbi's side. Well, Enciso, who's been one of the standout players today. Absolutely wonderful strike that equalised for Brighton. Off he comes for Ferguson. And Alexis McAllister makes his way into the field for Brighton. And he replaces Billy Gilmore in the midfield. More experienced Eddie McAllister. And that is Brighton bringing on the two big guns, isn't it, really? And it shows the difference in bench quality today. Brighton bringing on McAllister and Ferguson. City bringing on Cole Palmer for Phil Foden. So De Zerbi, 6 minutes into the second half. Interesting changes from him. John Stone to Manchester City. Back to Rodri. Bernardo Silva. Rodri. Ortega. City would still want to avoid defeat here today. Keep momentum up going into the final two games of the season. Chris likes Palmer. He thinks he's the star of the future. I think he's got a lot of quality, technical ability, Palmer. I think my only issue with him is his fact that he sometimes, most of the time, his decision making is very poor. Here's a Stupinian. Back he goes to Colwill. The decision making of Cole Palmer is very, very poor. And yes, he's a young player. McAllister gives it away to Rodri. Into Haaland here. Caicedo tackles Haaland, but they keep it. Gundogan. Switch out to Cole Palmer here. Options for Palmer. Can he make the right choice? Palmer. Palmer with a shot here. Palmed away by Steele. Mahrez can't beat a Stupinian to it. Lazily hangs out a leg there, Riyad Mahrez. Throwing for Brighton. Bernardo says, why have we subbed off Phil? He's our best player. He's injured. Injured again. Palmer went for goal here. Maybe he thought he'd fall back to Erling Haaland. He weren't sure. Colwill back to Jason Steele. Steele. Van Heck. Haaland presses. Van Heck into Ferguson. He makes it stick. Onto McAllister. Ball in behind McAllister is sliced off his left boot. Nice running behind by Stupinian. And it is a Manchester City throw-in. But Brighton come out in the second half just as good as they ended that first one, I think. The better team. City a lot of the ball, but not much with it. Not as purposeful in the passing as we see Brighton. Ortega. Clipped underneath it to Kevin De Bruyne. On the chest. Down to Gundogan. Walker. Back to Stones. Into Bernardo Silva. Under pressure from Caicedo. Plays it into Rico Lewis, does he? Rodri. Nice touch by Rodri. Works it wide to Lewis. Lewis still. Back to Rodri. City seem to break the Brighton press and then want to go backwards, whereas Brighton break the City press and go forwards. And that's the difference. Gundogan. Rodri. Good pass into Bernardo Silva. They break the Brighton press this time. Here's Bernardo Silva running at the Brighton defence. Palmer back into Bernardo Silva, who's pulled down by Caicedo. And the referee says nothing. Caicedo pulls Bernardo Silva down off the ball. As he goes to return pass, Bernardo Silva very unhappy with that. Well, he pulls Bernardo Silva back to Simon Hooper. The referee thinks nothing of it. Tugged back by Caicedo. Bernardo Silva wasn't happy. But he went down very easily, Bernardo Silva. Mitoma. City in trouble here. Mitoma in behind towards... I don't even know where that is. Ortega's give it straight back to Brighton here. Gross. Buonanotte. City sloppy. Mitoma, lovely little back heel here. Stones intercepts. Chased by McAllister. Stones gives it away. Ferguson on the strike. Fantastic save by Ortega. Horrible defending from John Stones. Hammers it, there's Ferguson at the near post and Ortega gets a hand on it. Horrible defending from John Stones. Gives it straight back to Gross. Ortega makes a save for his near corner. Good save, but Stones just asleep. Gives it straight to Brighton in his own box. Cross in, Gross. Header! Away by Rodri. Stupinian on the volley, blocked away. Mitoma. Little shimmy away from Kyle Walker. Mitoma. Great play by him again. Estupinian. McAllister. Wonderful from Brighton. Pascal Gross. Ball in here. Mitoma at the far post. And over the bar by Mitoma. I missed it too, Bernardo. Yeah, Phil Foden injured. That's what it was. I know, if I'd seen that Foden's coming off, you're thinking he's our best player, why is he coming off? He's injured. And Manchester City are making a change. Kevin De Bruyne is off now for City. Off comes our number 17, Kevin De Bruyne, and he's replaced by the number 19, Julian Alvarez. Pep Guardiola just getting minutes in the legs for Kevin De Bruyne, I'm sure. As City approach the final 2 games of the season. But the football Brighton is playing is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Ortega short to Rodri. Back to Ortega. Back to Rodri. City just playing their way into danger at the moment. And Rodri gives it straight away back to Brighton. This is terrible from City. Caicedo. McAllister. Brighton go back to Van Heck. Colwill. Colwill forward here. Mitoma into Ferguson, who couldn't control it. Was fired into him, Mitoma, with a nice little back heel touch. Stones, pressured by Ferguson. Wide to Cole Palmer. Palmer, looking to run at Pascal Gross here. Palmer on that left foot. Lost it to Gross, keeps it. Keeps going here, Cole Palmer, being pushed and pulled by Pascal Gross. He's done well in the end to keep it, Palmer. No, he hasn't. He just passes it straight out for a throw-in. Really, really poor from Cole Palmer. Terrible play from him. Really bad. City have got to be frustrated here with how they've played. Got to be frustrated, Pep Guardiola. Stones wins it back for City. Gundogan. Haaland, little flick into Alvarez. Levi Cole with a mistaken clearance. Pascal Gross on the chest and underneath it in a way. Rico Lewis into Cole Palmer. Out to Bernardo Silva, who loses out again. And City throw away the ball. Give it away. Ferguson, lovely touch. Mahrez wins it back for City. Riyad Mahrez, Julian Alvarez. Under pressure from Estupinian. who's absolutely all over Julian Alvarez here, and it's always going to be a free kick there, stretching the legs in. Alvarez limps away. I hope he's going to be okay. Straight in there was a Stupinian. It's going to be a free kick for City, a chance for maybe to swing one in. What will Manchester City decide to do? Rodri. Bernardo Silva. Palmer. Buonanotte. Can't take it off Palmer, who twists and turns but goes back the same way. Rico Lewis, Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan into Kyle Walker. City got options here in the box. Walker. With an absolutely terrible strike by Walker. Just drags it behind for a goal kick. That is terrible from City. Well, all we're going to hope is that City don't play this against Inter and United, because otherwise I think we'll lose. De Zerbi's team been by far the better side. Brighton really up their game, says Darasimi. I mean, Brighton have been fantastic. I think they've really, really got one of the next best managers in the world, haven't they, really? I mean, playing this type of football, unbelievable stuff. Walker beats a Stupinian to it. Mahrez. Gundogan. Absolutely terrible from Gundogan again, who gives it away. Welbeck. Ferguson. Welbeck, back to Ferguson, bad pass, but Ilkay Gundogan has been shocking today. Welbeck beats Alvarez to it. Alvarez keeps fighting. Welbeck beats him to it. Welbeck wins it back for Brighton. Mitoma. McAllister. From range, blocked by Bernardo Silva. Caicedo. Caicedo! Blocked by Rico Lewis, who clips it away. McAllister. Pascal Gross. Slips. Rico Lewis wins it back. Pascal Gross fouls Rico Lewis, free kick Manchester City. Brighton are absolutely fantastic. They are 10 times the better team than City today. There is absolutely no doubt about that. So much better than Manchester City. City have been poor, but Brighton have made them look poor. Ortega, Bernardo Silva. Ortega, long again by City. Forward by City. Haaland nods it down to Mahrez. Back into Haaland, who leaves it for Bernardo Silva. City with a counter-attacking opportunity here. Bernardo Silva passes a little bit too wide, but Cole Palmer picks it up. Palmer. An absolutely atrocious crossing by Cole Palmer. Just gives it away to the opposition. Very poor from Palmer. Very poor. And Van Heck easily clears it away. Here's Rodri. Lewis. Bernardo Silva. Gundogan. Stones. Walker. Back to Stones. I think Kyle Walker's been very, very poor today. Gundogan turns here on a pass from Ortega. Needs to get his head up and pick a pass. Mitoma across to him. Alvarez. Bernardo Silva. Gundogan. Working their socks off here, Brighton. Gundogan. Bernardo. Gundogan. Into John Stones. Will the quality of Manchester City be what shines through here and be the difference between these two sides? A moment of magic perhaps from Erling Haaland? Seems unlikely at the moment. Stones. Bernardo Silva. City can't even get out of their own half here. City players have covered themselves in glory tonight. Not covered themselves in glory. Foden played well and Lewis has been good. Struggling to think of any others yet. City really struggling. I think Brighton have been fantastic. I mean, the press from Brighton, like Levi Colwill, he's the centre-back. He's literally in the City half here pressing at the moment. They've been unbelievable. Rodri here. An absolute shocker from Rodri. Again, just passes it straight out for a throw-in. City are terrible today. City are absolutely terrible. I can't think of a worse performance than this particularly. On the ball, so sloppy. No desire the same. So poor. Rodri that wants to give it away now. Rico Lewis against Buonanotte here. He kicks Rico Lewis in the way through. I think he's offside, Buonanotte. Have to see what City do. in the second half. Because of this game, I don't know. We're into the second half, but the second half is probably where City need to impress. Mahrez beaten to it by Stupinian. Weak by Riyad Mahrez. So weak by Riyad Mahrez. Alexis McAllister. Wide to Estupinian. Cross in. Mitoma on the chest. Mitoma with a strike, and it's a save by Ortega. What would we do without Ortega today? Because actually, he's probably one of the other players that's performed well. Another save by Ortega. Really just showing the mentality of the game is so important. City have to win the pressure. The league, the pressure is off exactly. City, you can tell the players don't care. You can really tell the players don't care. It's evident, isn't it? No fight in there at all by Manchester City today. No fight at all. Corner for Brighton. Pascal Gross across. I would not be surprised if Brighton find a winner here today. A deserved winner, because they're 10 times better than Manchester City in every single position. Pascal Gross. In swinger by Gross. Near post head on by Ferguson. Kyle Walker away. One and after on the edge of the box. Rico Lewis trying to press for his side. Estupinian. Brighton calm. Brighton measured here. They know exactly what they're doing. They seem to know exactly how to beat Manchester City. Estupinian. Back to McAllister. McAllister. Brings the ball forward, just takes his time here. Lays it off to Van Heck. Top Premier League goal scorers. Pascal Gross got 26, the same as Glenn Murray. He's actually Brighton's top goal scorer. Gross. They're completely focused on another game entirely. Their heads are not in the game at all, says Ozera. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree. Mitoma here. Pressure by Walker. Estupinian. Mahrez grabbed by Estupinian. Referee plays on Alvarez. Switch of play to Erling Haaland here. On the chest to Haaland. Haaland on the strike here! Just past the post by Haaland, who can't seem to put the ball in the back of the net. Poor strike by Haaland again. Alvarez with a switch of play to Haaland. Takes it on the chest here. Tries to slam it towards the edge of the box. Towards the far right hand corner, bottom corner. Drags it wide by Erling Haaland. But I don't think we need to keep our winning streak up for the FA Cup and Champions League. I suppose it doesn't mean anything, does it? As long as we play well in the other games. Alvarez played in here. Stupinian pulls him. Alvarez. Mahrez. Mahrez. Alvarez. Left foot strike. Blocked away by Brighton. Clipped away by Stupinian. Walker. Danny Welbeck through the back of him. Alvarez. Gives it away to Buonanotte, who can't nutmeg Cole Palmer, but still wins it back off Palmer. Gives him a little bit of pull. Buonanotte. Ball to Mitoma. Counter-attacking from Brighton here. Karo Mitoma. Keeps the ball away from Kyle Walker brilliantly. Estupinian. McAllister. McAllister, Mitoma. Against Mahrez. Mitoma. Good tackle by Mahrez. Comes off Mitoma. It's a goal kick. Good play by Mahrez. Good tackle. I think Mitoma plays the gum shielding, doesn't he? Interestingly. I haven't noticed that before on Mitoma. Goal kick Manchester City to be taken by Stefan Ortega. Denny Sundav on the bench there, and Joel Veltman being given instructions. Brighton completely outplaying City here. De Zerbi doesn't seem happy. He's screaming about intensely to his fourth official. Still, the game has just dropped here. It's approaching the 70th minute. Manchester City have done nothing. Absolutely nothing. Jason Steele wants Alvarez to press him. Into McAllister. Colwill. Ferguson. McAllister. Mitoma. Ferguson. Mahrez is there to cut it out for City. Counter-attacking opportunity here for City. Mahrez pulled down by Mitoma. Ilkay Gundogan picks up. It should be a yellow card for Mitoma. It won't be. It won't be. Mahrez taken down. Gundogan. Ilkay Gundogan wide to Kyle Walker. Into Alvarez. Flicks it back through to Ilkay Gundogan. City struggling here to break down this Brighton side. Really struggling. Ilkay Gundogan. Into Bernardo Silva. Palmer. Bernardo Silva. Rodri. Rodri into Gundogan. Bernardo Silva. Gundogan. Walker. City just can't get it into the midfield at all. Mitoma pressing Walker. Throwing for Brighton. No, it's not just throwing for City. It does come off Kyle Mitoma. It might have deflected off Kyle Walker. It doesn't do. City really struggling. Kyle Walker to take a throw in here, and he's taking his time, Walker. Which the Brighton fans won't be happy with. The draw is good for them. Alvarez. Alvarez still. Nowhere to go. He's got to pick a pass here. Gundogan. Alvarez. Bernardo Silva. Here's Cole Palmer. Gundogan. Doesn't go for the runner, Cole Palmer. Palmer doesn't go forward, he goes back. Bernardo Silva. Brighton have had 18 shots against Manchester City, the most any team in a Premier League season. This season, anyway. Liverpool had 13. I feel Rodri isn't comfortable tonight. A bit out of position. Yeah, he's not been good tonight, Rodri. Particularly. Rico Lewis. Lovely turn on Pascal Gross. And he gets past another challenge, Rico Lewis. Absolutely fantastic from Lewis. Lewis into Alvarez. Booted in the legs by Caicedo. Free kick for Manchester City. No yellow card again. For Caicedo, who's very Fernandinho-esque. Just kicked Alvarez and completely missed the ball. And he's a free kick for Manchester City now. Not that I've got any confidence we'll do anything with it, personally. But we'll see. Pep Guardiola, the ball boy, running on the field to kick it back. Pep Guardiola, the fourth official's telling Pep he shouldn't be on the field. But Roberto De Zerbi's not bothered. And Pep's laughing with it. Graham Paul, the fourth official, saying, "Where's the ball boy gone?" Pep Guardiola had to run on to kick that one on. Fourth official's now in a laugh himself. Mahrez. Oh, into Haaland, nearly finds him. Mitoma away. Buonanotte. Mitoma. Bernardo Silva. Kyle Walker. Oh, and we go all the way back to Ortega. What a joke. What a waste. Manchester City free kick and we end up with Ortega. What's the point? Rodri. Alvarez back. Alvarez. Gundogan. Back he goes to Ortega. I mean, maybe City should give a game to the younger players. They can't be any worse than those that are out there. They just don't seem like their heads are in it. Nothing to prove. Rodri. Rico Lewis. Back to Rodri. Ortega again. City taking the sting out of the game. Best they can. Ortega. Walker. Stones. Back to Ortega. City just can't even get out from the back here at the moment. Bernardo Silva. Bernardo. Run across his own box here. Little turn by Bernardo on the left foot. Bernardo. Turns again. Back to Ortega. Gundogan. Rodri. I'd be surprised if City find a winner here. Because they're lucky if they get out their own half. Ortega. Long ball by Ortega to Cole Palmer on the chest here. Bad touch by Palmer, really. But we've still managed to work it forward. Rico Lewis. Rico. Oh, terrible pass by Lewis. Terrible pass by Lewis, but he wins it back with Ilkay Gundogan's help. Alvarez. Gundogan. Alvarez. Mahrez. Look at Gundogan's space here. Here's Mahrez. Alvarez. Van Heck's down holding his face. City play on. Alvarez with a strike from range here. The ref blows the whistle. Van Heck has gone down saying he's been punched or something from Julian Alvarez, which he hasn't. There's nothing wrong with him. City trying to keep possession and quell the Brighton fire, says Chris. Yeah, just trying to take the sting out of Brighton's game. Nothing in this at all. Oh my word. Van Heck grabs Alvarez. Just pushes him off. And Van Heck goes down as if he's been shot. What a joke. What a joke. Is he the softest player in the Premier League, Van Heck? The sort of dive Mo Salah would be proud of. Pep needs to set the players' mindset right. We can't play any games like this and expect to win, says Eric. Well, it is a meaningless game, isn't it? And that's one positive. Double change for Brighton here. Off the right-hand side, Buonanotte comes off. He's replaced by Jules Veltman. Dutch fullback or centre-back. And also entering the field is another experienced player in German, Dennis Undav. A finisher for certain. Number 21 comes on for Danny Welbeck, who leaves the field for Brighton. Still 1-1 between the two sides here at the Amex. So Welbeck, Buonanotte off. Undav, Veltman on. Simon Hooper plays a drop ball back to City, who started getting playing it from the back and playing it to Ortega. Rodri. Gundogan. Bernardo Silva. Pressure by Caicedo. Ortega. Long to Cole Palmer, who once again misjudged the ball. And Brighton win it back here. Brighton, Mitoma. Mitoma here. Wide to Undav. Undav to Ferguson. It's just over his head. Rico Lewis lets it run to Pascal Gross. Crossing by Veltman. Bernardo Silva with a header away ahead of Ferguson. Van Heck is softer than Mr. Softy. From Softtown sitting on a soft sofa drinking a soft drink. Ferguson handball here. Referee plays on. Estupinian! Wow! Ball sat up for Estupinian about 40 yards out. And he cracked that one. Ortega scrambling. I thought he was going in the top corner. I thought for a second there it was going in the top corner. Nice strike by Estupinian. Yeah, Van Heck, an absolute amateur dramatics performance before, and Alvarez blocking him off. I don't know what they were doing. Mitoma here. Chance for Brighton again. They give it away on the edge of the box. Gundogan. Alvarez. Corwell through the back of him. Free kick Brighton's way rather than Manchester City's way. Alvarez gets his body in ahead of Corwell. Corwell fouls him. Free kick Brighton. Interesting from the referee, Simon Hooper, who loves a wrestling match on the field, likes to not give out cards and let teams fight each other aggressively. McAllister. Van Heck. Brighton go back to Jason Steele. Trying to bring City onto him with the Presley. Spacing behind the City defence. Jason Steele. Takes his time in the ball here. City leaving with it. Steele still. Clip ball in towards Ferguson, who chests it down ahead of Stones. Ferguson gives it away to Ilkay Gundogan. He runs into Gundogan. And Simon Hooper once again gives a free kick Brighton's way. He's not sure what for. Gundogan picks the ball up and Ferguson just jumps into the side of Ilkay Gundogan to win a free kick. Nearly a chance for Brighton to win this perhaps in these last 10 minutes or so. Jason Steele. Steele to knock it forward here. City pressing. Steele clips it out to Estupinian over the top here. Won by John Stones and into Bernardo Silva. Back to Stones here. Stones. Through a few challenges here, John Stones. Rico Lewis. City trying to make a move go here. Cole Palmer. Palmer. Taking on Veltman. Palmer still. Palmer. Back to Rico Lewis. Gundogan. Palmer. Taking on Veltman. Palmer. Into the box here. Erling Haaland! Manchester City take the lead. Against the run of play. And Erling Haaland scores his 37th of the season. 74% of you guys are right. I don't know where the goalkeeper Jason Steele is going there. But City take the lead. Great cross for Haaland by Cole Palmer, I think it was. And Erling Haaland scores his 37th of the season. Well, it's against the run of play. We haven't been good, but we might still win here. Poor by Jason Steele, the goalkeeper, I have to say. Palmer crosses it in. Where Steele's going, I don't know. He's just nowhere near it. And it's a free header for Haaland. Free header. Haaland, it's an absolute sitter. I mean, if you missed that one as well, I'd start to worry. Header for Haaland. Goal number 37 of the season in the Premier League. Header by Haaland. City 2, Brighton 1. Well, there's a possible foul apparently in the build-up for the goal. So VAR are checking. Apparently there's a possible foul in the goal. Haaland pulls the shirt of Levi Colwill. And the goal has been ruled out. No goal. Haaland touches the shirt of Levi Colwill. Brighton 1, Manchester City 1. And Haaland doesn't get his 37th of the season. Pulls the shirt. A little bit of a shirt pull. And the goal's ruled out. Haaland just pulls the shirt of Colwill. And Haaland can't believe it. Pep Guardiola's not happy. Rodolfo Barello is arguing with the fourth official. And now Brighton come the other way. Here's Caicedo. Crossing by Gross. Mitoma with a header over the bar by Mitoma. Chris says shirts pull like that all the time, never given the other way round. Exactly. I mean, if Levi Colwill pulls Haaland's shirt like that, it's not a foul. If Levi Colwill pulls Haaland's shirt like that, it's not a foul. And that's the frustrating thing. But there you are. He should have touched his shirt. No goal. But that's the way it goes. That's the way it happens. Haaland wouldn't get a penalty for that, would he? I think that's the frustrating thing. Haaland wouldn't get a penalty for that, but he can't score a goal like that. Rico Lewis. Bernardo Silva. Long ball in behind for Palmer to chase. Jason Steele. McAllister heavy touch back to Steele. Colwill. Undav onto Caicedo. Great play by Brighton again. Alexis McAllister. Driving Brighton forward here, McAllister. Through to Undav. What a touch. Oh, poor touch by Undav. A little bit less than he would have scored there. Ortega off his line to get there. Haaland's very frustrated, I think, that that's been disallowed. Well, Pep Guardiola's got a yellow card now. I think. John Stones is down. He seems to be injured here. And Calvin Phillips is going to come on for Manchester City. And so is Sergio Gomez. Stones is injured as well. So we've had Foden injured and now Stones injured. Brilliant. Pep Guardiola apologises to the linesman. And he's going to get a yellow card here. And Pep Guardiola accepts the yellow card gracefully. So Manchester City have to take Stones off who's injured. Brilliant. Colwill pushes Haaland. Pushes Haaland again. Haaland just pulls the shirt so he can get in front of him. It's a foul by Haaland, I think, on Colwill. But I think the frustrating thing is if it was the other way round, he wouldn't get a penalty for that. He wouldn't get a penalty for that. He would not get a penalty for that, Erling Haaland. And that's what Pep Guardiola is so frustrated by. That is why he's so frustrated by. But that's the way it works. I mean, Haaland can get clattered in the box and it's not a foul. But if he, gives a little tug on his shirt call, well, it is a foul. And I think it is a foul, personally. It's just frustrating that it's one way but not the other. Sergio Gomez comes on for Manchester City, as well as Calvin Phillips. Bernardo Silva and John Stones come off. A frustrated Manchester City side. Very frustrated Manchester City side. Who've not been great today. Not been great at all. Mitoma with a late tackle on Rico Lewis. He seems to accumulate as many tackles as he wants, it seems. I think it's very frustrating, isn't it, that you can make as many fouls you want under Simon Hooper, but if it results in a goal, then he'll rule it out. Like I said, he's literally the referee that allows wrestling on the football field. Walker skips away from Undav. Back to Ortega. I just don't know what Kyle Walker's doing there. Haaland against Van Heck. I mean, Haaland should just go down every opportunity now and say, they touching my shirt. Calvin Phillips loses it. Rodri and Kyle Walker, the two centre-backs now. It's very much a makeshift defence of Manchester City. John Stones injured and Pep Guardiola frustrated. Gundogan. Gomez. Back to Gundogan. Out to Kyle Walker. Mitoma pressing. Kyle Walker leaves it. Rico Lewis does as well. Lewis forward. Mahrez, who's been very quiet today. Tackled here. Calvin Phillips runs onto this one. It's a Manchester City throw-in. Bursting forward a little bit there. Calvin Phillips. Pep Guardiola giving instructions to Rico Lewis. Premier League record. 12 games, 12 wins, 33 goals. Scored, 7 conceded for Manchester City. Aaron Nichols, 1-1. Why is this Brighton such a good team? Yeah, very true, Aaron. They've been fantastic, Brighton. I think De Zerbi is working absolute wonders at this Brighton team, I believe. Absolute wonders. He looks a real top-class manager. If the players buy into his style. It hasn't always gone his way in his career as a manager, his short career. Rico Lewis brilliantly past Mitoma. Driving at this Brighton defence here, Rico Lewis. Out wide to Mahrez. A Stupinian full-blooded challenge. A crosser makes the challenge and the referee gives a throw into Brighton as well. Pep Guardiola and De Zerbi continue to laugh on the sidelines together. Colwill. Guardiola and De Zerbi are very good friends, actually, so I suspect any bad blood during the game, which I don't think has been between Guardiola and De Zerbi, is fine. I mean, De Zerbi's been willing to argue with managers throughout this season. He's been sent off a few times, but you see, he did not want to argue with Guardiola. I think he respects him way too much. De Zerbi's a perfect replacement for Pep Zozera. He is the Pep replacement. I'm telling you now, if he can make Brighton play like this, give him Manchester City's players, and wow, what would he do with them? Calvin Phillips. Ilkay Gundogan. Rodri. Horrible touch by Rodri after a shocking pass by Gundogan. Phillips goes and wins it back, gets the ball. Referee says free kick, he didn't get the ball. Takes the legs of Alexis McAllister. Free kick to Brighton. Oh, I didn't even touch McAllister. He had gone down before even Phillips got to him. But it's still a foul, I suppose. Here is Colwill. Ball forward, Ferguson through the legs of Calvin Phillips. Sergio Gomez sliding in with a foot to win the ball. Kicked it back to Ortega. Mahrez on the chest. Spin by Mahrez, kick by McAllister. Simon Hooper gives a free kick Manchester City's way. I tell you what, Brighton, fantastic club at the moment. Fantastic manager, fantastic players, but the fans, I'm not a fan of them, to be honest with you. Not a fan of the Brighton fans. That made double fans there. De Zerbi drinks his water on the sidelines. He's Pep Guardiola-esque. 87 minutes gone. It looks like it's going to be a 1-1 draw here. Can City find a late winner? I mean, I don't want to say this about Haaland, but it looks like he won't score another goal till the end of the season. I honestly don't believe he'll score till the end of the season, Haaland. He honestly looks so out of it. Walker. Gundogan. Gomez. Cole Palmer. Skips past Veltman, who then slides in on Palmer. And then suddenly the yellow card comes out. I mean, where do these decisions come from Simon Hooper? Why is that a yellow card but others not? Palmer skips past Veltman, who just kicks his legs from underneath him. Good skill by Palmer, but it's not the skill of Palmer we question, it's the end product, which just doesn't seem to be there. Riyad Mahrez over this one. To cross it in, Riyad Mahrez. In swinger Mahrez. Haaland in there, and Haaland over the bar again. Haaland header. That he couldn't get him. Another miss by Haaland, but I don't think that was a simple chance. Not like the two that he missed in the first half, which were absolutely simple chances. Frustrating for Manchester City. I don't know why Haaland's played 90 minutes here, but is Pep Guardiola concocting some sort of Haaland drop for the FA Cup final or for the Champions League final, maybe? 4 added minutes here. Let's have to see what happens in these 4 added minutes. And Cisco, man of the match. Despite coming off in the 50th minute. Headed by Haaland. Van Heck has got hold of Haaland's shirt here. And Haaland, he's not happy with it. I mean, Van Heck had hold of Haaland's shirt there. The referee gives a free kick, but it's a joke. They've been all over Haaland all game, the defenders. Okay, fair enough. Nothing against physical defending, but you can't then rule out a goal for a similar situation. Riyad Mahrez. Into Haaland, Van Heck. Beats Haaland to it. Here's Ferguson. Wide to Stupinian. City in big trouble here. Purvis to Stupinian. Bad pass. Tried to kick it with the outside of his right foot. Enrico Lewis away to Mahrez and Gundogan. And Ilkay Gundogan is playing for the opposition today. Mitoma. Gundogan wins it back. Haaland against Van Heck. Being pushed and pulled. He's got the waist of Erling Haaland here, Van Heck. The waist of Erling Haaland. 2 arms round it. Free kick. Manchester City. Yellow card for Van Heck. Well, the ref has just let that stuff go until now. Haaland turns him. 2 hands round the waist of Haaland. It's a joke that the referee... As the usual Simon Hooper wrestling match continues. I heard that Vince McMahon is interested in signing this referee to referee games in the WWE. Rico Lewis, Kyle Walker. I tell you what, Kyle Walker, if you make him play football, he's terrible. If he's stopping attacks, he's great, but make him play football, and you might as well have a League 2 player in there. He's absolutely atrocious when he's had to play football. Ilkay Gundogan. Ortega, Phillips. Walker, Alvarez, Mahrez. Good play from City for the first time today's game, and Mahrez ruins the attack, does he? Mahrez, yeah. Goes backwards. Phillips. Gomez, Palmer. Skips past Veltman again. Palmer. Back to Gomez. Cross comes into the far post. It's an absolute shocker from Gomez. A cross that goes straight out for a goal kick. Terrible. Terrible quality. How poor have City been today? How poor have they been today? Really poor. How good have Brighton been today? And the fact that we nearly won this game, nearly nicked it, shows the quality we do have. I mean, it's going to be a long travel home for the City fans. A Wednesday night in Brighton. Back to Manchester. 93 minutes of football played. 1 minute more remains. Does Haaland get his 37th league goal this season? Well, 75% of you guys were wrong. 17 wrong as well. Only 8% right. Gomez. Phillips. Back to Gomez. Good play from him, actually. Wide to call Palmer. Palmer. Gomez. Palmer. Gundogan. Ilkay Gundogan. Alvarez. Heavy touch from Alvarez. Poor touch by Julian Alvarez. And Brighton counter with Undav. Into Mitoma. Last chance saloon here. Mitoma. Switch of play to Ferguson. Mahrez back for his side. Hopefully City poor because nothing at stake. And be back on the 3rd of June. Yeah, I hope they're back for the FA Cup game. If City play this against United, they'll get beat. McAllister. Veltman. Mitoma. They go back again, do Brighton. 94 minutes has been played. Go back to Van Heck. Colwill. And it looks like the points are going to be shared between Manchester City and Brighton. That is full time. Manchester City 1, Brighton 1. Absolutely outplayed at the Amex by Roberto De Zerbi's side, Manchester City. Nearly nicked a win through an Erling Haaland goal. But it was a pull on there, and that's what the referee give. De Zerbi and Pep Guardiola having a chat. They'll probably be talking to each other after the game. Brighton qualify for the Europa League. Congratulations to them. What a bit of football they played. Poor game, thanks to the commentary. Thank you to the great commentary, night all, says Chris. Good night to you all. I will be back in the weekend for the final game of the Premier League season, which is against Brentford, which hopefully City play a little bit better in than today. And then the next 2 lives will be Manchester City in the FA Cup final and Manchester City in the Champions League final. Been great to have you all. Please do like the video if you haven't already. We'll see you next time.